Okay, so I am going to show you, was looking for an image to inspire me today for the moon part, for the background, and I really liked this one where it's got like this blue and this purple sort of haze in the background. So I thought that we would have a bit of a play around with that idea. I do have Instagram. If you just do a search for Make It Crafty, you will find me in most places. Let me just write that down for you. So if you do a search for Make It Crafty, you will find it. 1 AM in Denmark. Yes, it's getting quite late. So let's make a start, guys. So yes, as I was saying, I want to try and create this effect here of the blue and the purples and the darks. So I just grabbed a few colors from my list, and I'm going to, I haven't done any practice, so you're pretty much just watching how it happens. So we're in this together. I think I'm going to actually start though with my C7 from the bottom and just start bringing, and I want to color the background first and then we'll work on the characters, or the character I should say. So I'm not trying to be perfect in my coloring. This marker is quite full, so the ink is going down easily. And thank you very much for all the hearts. Appreciate that. Now I'm not going to colour too close to the moon because I want to try and get a glowing effect around it. So hello there. I'm just going to also start coming from over here, and I'm going up, and let's just sort of bring the horizon line across. So we're going to bring that across. I'm just imagining it over to around about here. Just being careful when I'm around the character. Hello Paula, must be late there. Luckily it's a Saturday night though. This is a Copic marker, so it's an alcohol based marker. So now I want to bring in some of that blue look. So if we have a look again, we've got like this blue sort of area in the middle. So I want to try and bring it, and I thought that a B45, which is like it's called smoky blue, because it has a greyish sort of, tinge to it. So I'm going to start just by putting a little bit of that. And we're going to be blending all of these colours over the top of each other. So don't be too stressed about your backgrounds. You just do it. And you can just, the great thing about Copics is that you can just keep on adding layers until you're happy with it. Expensive, awesome alcohol. Indeed they are. They certainly are. But, you know, they are, the great thing about them is that you can refill them. So your expense is in the actual container, and then you know that you've got these really great nibs to be able to have a lot of control over them. So I'm just going to sort of start bringing this up over on this side too. Bringing this around. See, I'm just doing some squiggles here. Now I want to bring in a B39 between the top of this grey and into the blue. So this is a free image that I have made. It's a little scene that I've made. And if you go to the makeitcrafty.com and you click on, this is a free image that I've made. So I've made this little scene up, and if you go to makeitcrafty.com and you click on the Interact with Zoe photo, you will be able to, there's a link there you'll see on the side. You'll be able to see exactly what to look for, and it will take you to where you can download this. Thank you. So I'll give you all those details again at the end, so if anyone comes along again and is unsure where to get the image, we'll just let them know that we'll mention it again at the end. Okay, so I'm going to start bringing that purple color down now. So I've chosen a V28 to do that. I'm going to bring like this purplish color around. And bring that down. You see how I'm just being really rough with it. There's all different types of printers that you can use. I do have all of those common questions answered on that link page that I was just talking about. Okay, so I'm going to use BV29 at the top. Start bringing that down. You see how as I start building the layers, I'm really being very messy. So there's nothing to, you don't need to do this really awesome trying to blend everything together. So don't worry about the streaks or the lines or anything like that, because as you build your layers, it will come together. See, I'm just stretching this across now. Now I'm going to bring in some of my blue. That was a BV29. So I'm going to bring in, oh wait, not that one. I'm going to bring in the B39. I'm going to bring in some blue across here. And I'll bring in the blue across the bottom here. So I'm just filling in all of this area that we missed earlier. Now I'm bringing in the lighter blue, the B45. And then the C7. Okay, now back with the B39. and then the B45. So now I'm being a little bit more careful over in this area here, so I'm keeping a horizontal colouring just whilst I'm doing my last final layer over the top. And then I've got my V28, because this side's going to be darker. What I'm going to do at the end, because the moon is over here, I want this side over here to be a bit darker, so at the end I'm going to do some what's it called, distress ink. So I'm going to sponge the corner to do some distress ink there. Okay, now I just want to blend this out a little bit here. So I'm using the V28 still, just so I can get that purpley, and then mixing that blue in like so. Rightio. Okay, so we've got the main sort of colours happening in the background now, and I still want to get like this glowy effect around the actual moon. So I don't know how my colours are going to turn out, but we're going to give it a go anyway. So I've chosen like an E43 to start with. I'm going to just start adding some of this browny colour to the moon to create a little bit of a texture all through it, because the moon doesn't all look white. So just add some texture there, and then I'm going to use some W3 to add a little bit more depth. I'll have all of the colours afterwards on that link, so don't be too worried about the colours. Just watch the process. I'm just using a mix of browns, the light browns, the E40, and the W3. That's sort of one thing that I wanted to mention. Is when you're watching YouTube videos and watching things like Periscope and stuff, I think it's important to not get too caught up on all the colors that they're using, the different paper that they're using, and you know, all of the different processes, because you really just want to try and use what you've got. Unless you're going to be starting something new and you're doing all your research and whatnot. But everyone's using different types of papers and getting great effects. Everyone's using different blends of markers, and the way that I will use a combination of markers compared to the way that you would end up using them will be completely different. So I really highly recommend using what you've got, and just getting really good at what you've got. Like one of my design team members, for example, she is using standard biro pens to do amazing work, and people are asking her, well, what type of biros are you using, you know? And she's like, well, they're just normal ballpoint pens. But it's the fact that she's just practicing to, you know, practicing her technique of the way that she uses those those ballpoint pens is what gets the results that she's getting, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to just put that out there, just to, you know, yeah, don't get hung up on what you don't have. See what you can doing with what you've already got, and you'll do amazing things then, because you're stretching yourself. You're like making yourself do things with what you've already got. So that's just my 2 cents on that. All right, so exactly. So it doesn't matter which markers you've got, you know. Now, what was I going to do? I want to try and make this edge glowing now. So I'm going to mix, I think I'm going to go with my Y00 that I've got here and do a little bit of a yellow just in here. Thank you. Exactly. The name of my design team member is Kay. Her name is Kay. If you actually go to another thing, that if you want to get really good at coloring and you want to stretch yourself, my store Make It Crafty, we've been having a coloring challenge for about I think it's been going for 4.5 years or 5 years or something. If you go to our challenge blog, which is Make It Colorful.com, if you go to that, let me put my K in there. If you go there, you will be able to see all the design team members. You'll be able to see all of our, sorry, my hair's stuck to my finger. You'll be able to see all of the examples that we do each month with the different coloring challenges that we do, and of course you can join along with us as well. So you'll be able to find Kay there. There'll be a link on the side that you'll be able to go to her blog and check out her stuff. So, okay, so we've put a little bit of a yellow glow into there. It's a little bit too bright for what I want, so I'm going to put my E41 over the top just to tone that down. I still want that yellow glow just underneath, but just to help tone it down, I'm putting the E41 over the top. And that's a great thing about using alcohol markers, is that you can change the tone of different things by just putting another sort of layer over the top. Helen, if you stick around to the end, I will add some extra details of where you can find this image and everything at the end. Okay, so now I want to fix up this edge here around the moon. So I'm going to start with my colorless blender, and I'm going to go back to my example here. I want to try and get this glow sort of effect into the sky. And so I'm just going to start pushing that ink back that I've got around. And that will naturally itself start creating that glow, because it will, what happens when you push using a lighter color on top of a darker color is it sort of creates a blotchy effect. You see how that's now starting to push that color back? And now I want to just flick it into it so that I don't get that really defined line. Try and reduce that defined line. It's starting to look alright. So now I want to put in some of that yellowy glow type color. So I'm going to get my yellow, start coloring that into this background. Flicking that in. Trying to get rid of that line that I've created there. Now the yellow is again a bit too bright for the type of glow that we've got happening, so I'm going to go over it again with the, maybe even the E43, you know. Yep, I'm going to take the E43 in over the top of that, just to help soften that bright yellow effect. And that's looking not too bad. Now, I'm not entirely happy with it, so And this is a great thing about being able to do, trying to watch while making lunch. Oh, speaking of lunch. I'm going to try just bringing in my purple again. So I'm going to use a BV23 on this. Yeah. So I'm going to bring in and flick my BV23 in. Just flicking it back into that glow that I made. And that's looking good. That's looking better. That's fixed that. This is a free scene that I've created, which you'll be able to download later. I'll have the details later. Hi, Helen. Okay, so I'm pretty much happy enough with that, because what I'm going to do here later, as I was mentioning earlier, is I'm going to do the distress ink just around the edges, which will help to smooth all of this out. So let's get on to colouring the, I think we'll go next to the tombstones, and I've decided that I'm going to use warm greys on that. So I'm going to just add some texture. So I'm going to be dotting all of my colouring so that it looks a bit like it's a stone. So I'm imagining that that's going to be, all the edges will be glowing from the moon behind. I'm going to come in with a darker, I thought that I had a darker, didn't I bring it darker? Okay, I didn't. Well, we're going to jump to W3. Add some more texture. Okay, and I wanted to go darker, but I here did not bring out my W9. Alright, so this is where I am going to use E29. So I'm just going to put E29 in here. So this is what happens when you need to work with what you've got. How's that for a great example? So I'm bringing that E29 in, and I'm just adding that. That's going to be like my main shadow, just adding some texture. Thank you for all of those hearts. And now I'm going over the top of that E29 with the W5. The reason I chose the E29 instead of one of my dark C's is because I'm trying to keep these warm in a warm tone rather than a cool tone. So, and because I want to use the cool greys on the little Dracula there. Okay. I am recording this on my high definition camera as well, so I'll be uploading it to YouTube in the next couple of days. It takes me a couple of days to get videos uploaded because they're so long. I've got a very slow internet connection, so unfortunately. But yes, it will be up on my YouTube channel, and if you want to find me on YouTube, you just search for Make It Crafty and you'll find it there. Okay, so finally I'm just going to come in, I just want to colour in the ground, and I'm just going to do that a straight, I might do that with a purple and a grey, I think. Yep, so I'm using a warm purple, which is the V99. I'm just going to go all the way over it. Just make sure that I'm not out of camera. There we go. So I'm keeping this all in one direction. It's easier to blend that way. So when I get to the character. But I am careful that when I go around the character that I don't do defined lines that make it harder to blend them out. I want to keep it all in the same direction, just like that. Okay, just gonna... And now I'm going to just go over some of that with the C7 along the bottom here, at least. Then come back with the V99. And I'll give him a shadow later. Okay, so now we've got the all the main elements done. Now I'm going to, now that I can see, wait a second, I just want to make this a little bit darker here. And in around here. Okay. So now that I've got all the background, you can see that I want to just make this a little bit more of a glow around the edge. So I'm going to use, I'm actually going to use BV20 and just tap the edge of the colouring that I've done here. Probably can make this side darker because that tree would be in the way, so I'm going to colour in that tree and work out if I need to make that side of the tombstone a little bit darker. Okay, so I'm going to colour in this tree now, and I'm just going to colour it in black. So I've got C10 here, and I'm just going to make this whole thing as a silhouette. So I'm not doing perfect tracing, I'm just using the tree as a guide. I think I'll colour that as well. There we go. And all of a sudden, doesn't the moon look better now that that tree's coloured as well? Let's do that bat as well. We'll just colour that black as well. So I'm using the C10 again. Just using the tip to make sure that I can get into there. Yeah, I think that when you're doing the moon, it's adding that texture, especially a large moon. Adding that texture sort of helps to give it a little bit more character. So, there we go, that looks better. Alright, now let's get on to our little Dracula here. Just going to have a sip of my now getting cold coffee. What's the time? 9:35. Can I recap colours of the moon? Kim, I'm going to have all of the details of this on the on my links page. So if you go to themakercrafty.com and then you click on the photo of me that says Interact with Zoe, I'll have all the details of everything that I've done there. Plus, I will eventually have a video, a high definition video of this up on YouTube later. So, okay, let's get on with the little guy. I'm going to start by going to the R29. So we're going to do his underside of his cape in red, I was thinking, just so that he stands out. So because it's such a small area, I'm not doing anything fancy. I missed that question, sorry. Was it something about where am I in Oz? I am in Brisbane. Thanks, guys. So now I've just switched to R24. No, because I'm working in a small area here, I just went straight to my R29. And I'm only using 2 colours under here, I think. I may bring in the brown, but I haven't decided. Sometimes I will go crazy and I will add heaps and heaps of different shades of colours. But usually I just try to use a minimum amount and just layer the 2 shades or the 3 shades up. So I'm just going to increase the depth on this one, and I'm just going to turn it so that I can flick towards myself. Like so. And then just blot that edge so that the 2 colours blend. Like that. And then so I'm going to do the same just on the edge here, just blotting it, and I'm letting the ink do the blending for me. Alright. I think that will do for the red for the moment. I'm happy enough with that. Let's move to the black tape so I'm going to go straight in with my darker colours. I've got where's my C7? There we go. I've got C7, so I'm going to start with C7 and just build up the folds. Now, with these types of folds, if you colour this way, it makes it harder to get your blending nice and smooth. So follow the lines like I am here. So I'm following that line and bringing it to the edge, and then I'm going to follow the line, and again I'm going to follow the direction of the material. Over here I'm going to start building it up. I'm going to follow the line as best as I can, keeping my flicks all in the same direction. Sometimes just to be able to fit it in, I might need to go in another direction, but I still try and keep everything in the same direction. You see how quickly that was just to get my main, actually I've got to bring in this a little bit under here. Like so. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with my C10. So the C7 is actually going to be my lightest colour, but I laid that down first so that when I bring my C10 in, it's got a little bit of an inky surface to sit on before going into the paper. Let me bring that up. Again, hopefully I haven't got my thumbs in the way. If I ever get my thumb in the way and I keep repeating that and I haven't noticed, if you can just leave a comment, then I can make sure that I try and change my position. Because I was doing a Periscope a few days ago and I didn't realize that I had kept putting my thumb in the way of my colouring, which defeats the purpose of watching. Okay, so now I'm going to go with my C9, taking that towards the highlight that I've created, going over the top of the C10, coming up further, bringing this up on this side, and I'm going to put a little bit in over here, and turning again, I'm going to fill in this along the edge. My C9 seems to be a bit yucky today, which is not too good. So what I've done there is I've just dabbed up a little bit of the gunkiness of that marker that's causing me havoc. I won't be using that anymore. So C7, just to now fill in the highlights. Probably seems like pointless, but it'll be just enough of a highlight to make it look like it's a black cape and not all the same colour, giving it a little bit of shine. Okay. And if you've noticed, I've always kept my colouring in the same direction so that when I come back to blending, it all blends together smoothly. So I'm just going to come around. There we go. And I think we might make his collar red so that it stands out a little bit. So I'm going to just get my R29 and just come in here. And again on this side. And just under here as well. The R24. I get like that too. I get so caught up in watching what's going on that I forget to start tapping the screen. There we go, that cape's looking good. What do you think, guys? What I was gonna do, I'm not gonna do skin colors because I'm thinking it's not gonna be pink like we are. So I'm going to give him a grey face, and I'm going to use my lighter cool greys with I'm singing now. Okay, so I'm going to do a CO and a C2, and I'm going to just start with my CO and start bringing in some colour across his face, and then I've got some C2. No singing. Don't you like my singing? Apparently whoops, I've just filled that marker and it's gonna play havoc on me. Apparently it will only accept 500 hearts per session. So you have to, if you wanted to give someone 3,000 hearts, you need to actually leave and then come back and then keep giving hearts. So it's 500 hearts at once or something, I don't know. That is what I heard. So that's all I'm going to do with his face. Nothing drastic, but I'm going to give him some dark eyes. Maybe I'll just use C7. Oh, is it now unlimited? Right, okay, awesome. Tap away, guys. Tap, tap. Alright, I'm just going to do a little bit of red in here. So, we'll quickly do his suit, and I think I'm going to use the BVs that I pulled out just to give it a little bit of a difference. I want to keep it dark, but your thumb hurts. Okay, so I'm using the BVs just to give it a little bit of a difference, and I'm just going to come in. There's still a purpley type of colour, which is good. Did I say purpley then? I meant to say grey. A greyish type of colour, even though they are a type of purple. Oh, it's going to blot on me. So I'm just I'm covering most of it because it's such a small area. Again, I'm not going to be too precise on having all these different shades of colours. I'm just trying to break up the different areas. So that was BV29, and I wanted to jump to another BV. There we go, BV25. So I'm just going to jump to this BV25 for the lighter sections. And again, I'm just blotting it and letting the ink do the blending. You see how I wasn't really doing anything drastic there, just letting the two colors mix together. I'm gonna just, I think I'm just gonna quickly color in his cuff here, color in these, because I don't really need them to all stand out. Anything we need to just do a tiny little dot of C2 on his hand here. Oops. All right, now for the scary part, his hair. All right, so let's do black, and I'm going to start with C7, and I'm going to, because he's got a part already, it means I can start working from his part. And so I'm going to start flicking towards the points and bring in some texture right from the beginning. Then I'm going to bring in some more texture, flicking out from here, leaving a space between the first flicks. See how I've just left all this white space, and they're going to help give him highlights. So then I'm going to come under here and just start flicking towards the points there, and let's do the same over here. So going to create like a highlight along here, so I'm going to do a little bit of a corner here, and I'm going to start bringing this one down in here. And then just do a little bit of a flick out to there, like so. Then just come under here and just fill in this part of his hair. Alright, actually we better do his eyebrows as well. Fill those in. Okay. So now that was C7, I'm going to come back with the C10 and make some of these areas a little bit darker. So I'm going to start actually under here. And just bring that out. Being careful not to go over my white areas too much, but I do want to just build upon them a little bit. And then flicking like so. Now, just going to build upon these a bit more. I find that by putting one colour down first, a lighter colour, it helps you to decide where you're going to place your darker shades. So we're starting to build that up now, and I'm going to come back with my C7 and just fill in some of these darker areas at the bottom especially. Just slowly building that up. What are you guys doing with your thumbs? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Now oh, you're giving hearts. Oh, your thumbs are getting sore because you're giving hearts. That's sweet. Thank you. Oh. for a good cause. I'm glad that you've all got some techniques to use. Okay, so to finish off his hair, what I like to do with when I'm doing grey hair is add sometimes is add like a bluish tinge, but I don't have something that I actually want to use with me, so I'm going to add a purplish tinge. So I'm going to use BV20, I think. Yes. So I'm going to go into these highlights with my BV20. Now you could do this with anything. You could do pink, you could do a bright blue like a BOO or BOOO or something, and you can do some cool effects with your grey dark black hair. You could even put yellow in it if you wanted to reflect that moon. I could have done that, I didn't think of that. Yes, you could do green, you could do all sorts of stuff. So have fun with the highlight parts of your black hair. Make it look completely different. But I'm just going to come back in now with the C10 and just, because I took away some of that depth, I'm just going to flick a little bit into there now. Just take away. And I will take a photo of this straight away and put it up onto my Instagram so that you can actually see exactly what it looks like in a better quality. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram, just do a search for @MakeItCrafty and you will find me on Instagram. There we go, I think that looks pretty cool. He's looking better now. There we go. So I think we'll just do a bit of a shadow under here because that looks too light. C7 I think I was using. So let's just add in a shadow under here. Make sure that I am in view. There we go, that looks a bit better. Might even just do a little bit of a cast shadow out to here. And I'm going to make that a little bit darker with a C10 just on the inside of him here. Like so. And I'm going to pull that out with the V99. Okay. So you guys see that now? So I think we better just do a bit of a cast shadow on these tombstones, for the tombstones. So with the moon coming from that direction, I'm going to push them out that way. like so, and make that a little bit darker as getting closer to them. So just a little bit at the base, and then I'm just going to blend that a little bit. Like so. There we go, that looks a bit better, looks a bit more realistic. And I think we've got to do the tree too, so let's bring that tree down, making sure to leave just a little bit of a gap there so that we can tell that they're all different. There we go. I feel like I need to just add a little bit more of a shadow of him over here. I'm going to blend that with V99. Now before I finish, I just want to quickly do the distress ink. If you can wait 1 second, just so that I can show you the finish. Give me 2 seconds. Making sure that I've got the right. Okay, sorry guys, I wasn't trying to do this, but I think it'll look better. It will look better. Okay, so I've just got Stormy Sky, and I'm just going to tidy up this edge over here. I feel like I need to just tidy that up a little bit. Just bringing that over top, and I do want to find my. I'm also going to use a dusty Concord as well. But I don't know what I've done with it. So I'm just going to bring that in like so, just to help smooth that blend out there. Make sure I've got a really nice background. So just going to go over that there. That's better. So I want to just, I'm going to bring in my Dusty Concord just around the edge there later, but I will do that off camera and show you the results on the finish on Instagram. So if you want to see quick results, if you want to see what this looks like, you can jump across to Instagram, and I'll have the image up there. I'll also be updating the Interact with Zoe page. So if you go to the makeitcrafty.com and you click on the photo of me that says Interact with Zoe underneath, it'll take you to my whole Periscope page, which has all the links of the things that I've been using and has links to the older videos that I've done. You will also be able to download this scene that I have made, and you can download it for another week. I'll keep it up there for another week. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've picked up a few tips. I didn't do any practice before I started, so it's sort of, you got to see the process of my thought process of how I was going to do it. I will do another color along probably in a month time. Oh, actually I won't next month because I won't be here, but I will do another color along. I'm trying to do a color along every month where I will offer you a free image so that you can do the same sort of coloring. I'll update this page that I was mentioning. I'll update that later today. I've also been recording it on my HD camera so that I can upload it to YouTube, and you'll be able to, hopefully I haven't gone out of the screen, I wasn't watching it, so hopefully I haven't missed too much. But I really appreciate you guys all coming along, and hopefully we can do another one together again soon too. So, and of course I do Periscopes nearly every day, so if you haven't already followed me, you can just swipe left or swipe up and select to follow me on Periscope so that you don't miss any of my future ones. So awesome, yay, thanks so much guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.